Another hot one. A quick turn, like we said, setting up game 2 here at Bluebell Park. A&M serving as the road team against Louisville. All right, so here's how the bracket looks. This is the left side of the bracket. These 4 matchups got started yesterday. Tennessee and Notre Dame playing right now on ESPN. East Carolina and Texas playing right now in the late innings on ESPN2. And again, it is best out of 3 for the right to move on to Omaha. Well, at TCU, Schloss, banana in tow, peanut butter at the ready. He went to Omaha 5 different times, and now here he is, year 1 at A&M.
Unbelievable, right? He took a program at TCU that had never been to the College World Series, took him there 5 times, and now in year 1, a season after not even making the conference tournament, not only does he win the West for the first time in A&M history, not only is he able to crush bananas with peanut butter, but he's 1 win away from Omaha. They're having a whole bunch of fun in Aggie Land this year.
Look, you keep winning, you got to do it. He's got a pesky lineup, 1 through 9, and Jack Moss has been rolling going back to the SEC tournament in Hoover.
Yeah, he was the regional player of the week, or most outstanding player here in the College Station Regional last weekend. 9 for 14. All he did was go 3 for 6 last night. A really tough out. Now he's got his hands full today with a big, tall left-hander on the mound. But Jack Moss is playing like an All-American.
The guy you mentioned, Riley Phillips, sophomore from Godfrey, Illinois, 6'4" indeed, making his 13th start of the season, and he was really good last Sunday against Michigan.
Yeah, he looks the part, right? 6'4" left-hander. Louisville's had some all-world lefties in Dan McDonald's time. You're going to see 3 pitches. The changeup is the go-to pitch. If he gets that going, especially against this A&M righties, he can punch out double digits like he did last weekend, where he punched out 11 in 5 innings in an elimination game against Michigan.
He didn't walk anyone. He only allowed 2 hits in that one. One of those 3 elimination game wins for Louisville, whose back is against the wall again. Phillips starts with strike 1 to the third baseman and leadoff man for Texas A&M, Trevor Werner. Third-year sophomore at third base, a Houston native. Was 1 for 4 yesterday, walked a couple of times. For a Texas A&M offense that had so much traffic on the base paths in the 5-4 win yesterday, how about loading the bases 5 different times in 9 innings, but leaving them loaded in 4 of them? And then Troy Clonch came through in the bottom of the 9th inning. Slow roller to third, and Ben Metzinger with a bobble, not in time. Werner is on to start the afternoon.
Uncharacteristic right there for Ben Metzinger, one of the best defensive players on the field for the Cardinals. Just 5 errors on the season, but he gets caught just a little in between here. Watch this last hop. It's like, am I going to back up? Am I going to keep charging? And even though he's able to corral it, Werner, who is extremely athletic, just too fast to throw out after the bobble. And a first AB mistake allows the Aggies to get a leadoff base runner.
So an error right out of the gates, 3 pitches in on Louisville. Brings up Jack Moss. I told you off the top, he had a good night. That's what he's been doing for the Aggies here in the postseason, who yet again proved their resilience. Jim Schlossnagle said after the game, nothing surprises me from our team anymore. Nothing they could possibly do the rest of the year that could catch me off guard.
Nothing. Well, we got about 4 hours to see if they can do something to surprise them. He says they can't. We shall see.
Bouncing ball right side. Logan Beard to his left. With Werner to second, 1 gone.
And as good as Jack Moss has been, especially of late, you know, it's .333 against left-handers, nothing to sneeze at, but it's .418 versus righties. So you got to imagine that Riley Phillips will at least give Jack Moss a uncomfortable look, and it certainly looked like it in that first AB.
Well, Phillips ready to face another righty, and a dangerous one at that. The grad student, the transfer Dylan Rock in the 3-hole. The left fielder for Texas A&M with an OPS you see right around 1150. 18 home runs and nearly 60 driven in. Now he was 0 for 3 with a couple of punch outs yesterday. Did walk twice and hit by a pitch.
How about Texas A&M with Rock, Boast, and Targach last night? A combined 1 for 12. I mean, if you'd have told Dan McDonald before the game, they're going to leave 17 runners on, and Rock, Boast, and Targach are going to go 1 for 12. How do you think the game finishes? I guarantee you that would have been, in his mind, a recipe for Louisville getting a Game 1 win.
Jim Schlossnagle said that the good thing, at least as he tried to sell it maybe to himself, 17 left the board, means they're due today.
It means they're due, and it also means that they created a lot of traffic, right? Take a look at the runners in scoring position. Hits were hard to come by. About 26 men left on base between the two teams. I mean, these are two of the best offenses in the country. You figure the over-under in a game like last night would have been around, what, 18? And they only scored half of that.
Do you think we'll see more offense today than the 9 runs yesterday?
I do. The wind is whipping out to center. It's kind of going back and forth between blowing out to right center or left center. And I don't know. There was half a dozen balls last night that I think if the wind was a little stronger, probably would have left the yard. And with a couple bullpens that are pretty taxed, I would be shocked if there's not some big runs on the board today.
Rock pops this one up toward the third base dugout and into the seats. Yeah, that was the chatter around both batting cages earlier today, that there were some balls, especially that Louisville hit, in particular to left field, that both teams felt like could have been gone on another day weather-wise.
Yeah, the Aggies ran into the fence to catch a handful of balls last night. Give their outfield defense credit. They made a whole bunch of plays. But yeah, a few extra feet on a couple of those balls from the Cards, and the score might have looked a little different.
Of course, that guy, Levi Usher, the center fielder for Louisville, almost robbed the home run. But Jordan Thompson for A&M, their center fielder, went deep. Tied the game in the 7th inning. Riley Phillips with a 1-2. Cut on and missed. He punches out Rock. 2 gone.
That's a good sign. Again, 11 punch-outs last week in just 5 innings. So a young man that comes into this ball game feeling pretty good about his stuff. And there's that knuckle curveball, right? He kind of spikes that breaking ball. That's a little more a slider action, trying to get it to the back foot. And that's the thing that is pretty interesting about Riley Phillips, is he can shape the breaking ball. He can see Dylan Rock talking to Troy Claunch about it, which is a beautiful thing you see from some of these veteran clubs trying to help each other out. But that one had a little more left to right on the break as opposed to top to bottom.
Big time breaking ball for out number 2, and now here is the cleanup man, Austin Bose. OPS above 1,000 as he takes strike 1. Bose 1 for 5 with a walk yesterday. He came up in the 2nd and in the 6th with the bases loaded. Now, he did single with 2 outs in the 9th inning to put 2 aboard. Next guy got hit. That loaded the bases for Claunch. 0-2.
Boy, so far so good for Riley Phillips. He's landing everything, right? The fastball command has been fine, but you're really liking what you're seeing from the changeup and breaking ball.
Werner reached on the error, now in scoring position. Phillips 0-2. Werner takes off, and it's grounded to first, and Bianco stabs it. Inning over. A 0 from Riley Phillips here in the top of the 1st, and Louisville bats for the first time after this.
Introduce
The veteran righty against Napchik. You know, that was one of the big storylines of last night as well, that both teams, Louisville in particular, but A&M as well, they went with their big guns out of the bullpen. As Napchik slices this one to left field and drops it down for a base hit. Digs for second. Rock's throw does not get him. Leadoff double from the fire starter, Christian Napchik.
And boy, is that how you draw it up, right? Just when we said he was 0 for 5 last night and they really need their fire starter to get them going, a hanging 2-seamer. And that is right into the wheelhouse of Christian Napchik. And you know he's hunting a double right out of the box, a slicing liner to left field. And I tell you what, a throw on the base, that one would have been real interesting, but nevertheless, a leadoff double. And now here comes some scary dudes up next for the Cards.
Yeah, dangerous lineup, 1 through 9 for Louisville, like we talked about throughout last night. And it's the 2 spot, Ben Metzinger. Senior third baseman, a Louisville native, all ACC third-team choice with big numbers. Came into the weekend second on the team in OPS, only behind the guy who hits behind him, Dalton Rushing, and second as well to Rushing in home runs for the Cards. Breaking ball is going to be important for Micah Dallas.
Yeah, and yesterday, first AB of the game, they threw nothing but breaking balls to Metzinger and got him striking out, right? Got him swinging. So something tells me Mr. Metzinger has that in the back of his mind here in the first AB against Dallas.
Metzinger did have 3 hits last night, gets another breaking ball. A ball and a strike from Micah Dallas.
Micah Dallas has had a really interesting year. Think about this, from early April to the middle of May, he had consecutive starts where it was, 5 runs, 3 runs, 5 runs, 3 runs, 7 runs, 5 runs. I mean, he had a rough stretch there in the middle, but has had 2 really good starts over his last 2 times on the bump.
Sails one up and in.
So his last 10 innings, he's just allowed 1 run, right? So they're hoping they get the guy they've seen over the last couple of times out. You take a look there at his last 2 starts. Not a ton of swing and miss, but has really limited the damage.
Yeah, that's SEC tournament and then regional last weekend. Metzinger pops it up foul back in our direction. And he was really good in Hoover against that Florida team. 5 innings, shutout ball, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts. And then, like you said, solid numbers in the game 1 start against Oral Roberts here last weekend. 5 innings, 1 run, but 7 hits. And when we talked to him, we said, hey, what was working for you last week? He said, I didn't feel like I had anything going.
Just grit, right? Just hung in there and made some pitches.
That's kind of been the book on him in his 4 years. A competitor to the max. His 2-2. Metzinger pops it foul again.
Break it. That one right there looked like Metzinger had a pretty good look at that one. Just swung below it. Last night he missed a breaking ball. Got 3 hits, but missed a breaking ball late in the ball game where he looked like he was all over it too. And again, you're talking about a 4th-year player. Like Ben Metzinger's had a lot of college at-bats, right? So you stay too predictable against a guy like this, and he can really be dangerous.
2-2 from Dallas. Slow roller past the mound. Cole Kaler charges and throws out Metzinger. Napchik to third, 1 away.
Nice read there by Napchik. Right, that's a ball you have to be aggressive on. If you can cross the path of the baseball, then you got to go. And even though that's certainly not what Metzinger was looking for, he does advance the runner, and now you got one of your best guys up with a chance to put you out in front.
Dalton Rushing, DHs today after he caught yesterday. Junior from Brighton, Tennessee. All ACC 2nd-team choice for this Louisville team. First pitch swinging, he unloads and admires.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Hey, now. Well, there's not a large group of Cardinal fans here, but the ones that are on their feet. And how could you not be a tape measure bomb off the bat of Dalton Rushing?
To the train track here in College Station. For his 23rd home run of the season, and few could be louder than that.
They put that structure in beyond the wall in right field, and I don't think they were planning on somebody being able to hit it over that.
Well, now Jack Payton lifts one to center. That Jordan Thompson 2 gone after the big fly from Dalton Rushing off Dallas.
You gonna throw that changeup, you better make sure it has some depth to it. A hanging changeup sitting right down Broadway. You want to talk about a no-doubter. Load it up and let it fly, young fella. Speaking of let it fly, there goes the bat, and the Cards are off to a quick start.
Brings up Levi Usher. Dalton Rushing earlier this year went 430 feet with a home run against Wake Forest. Before that, in March against Michigan, 442. He had an exit velo on a home run earlier this season against Cincinnati of 110. He's got pop.
Yeah, that one had to be in the ballpark. I'm not sure what the computer said, but my eyeballs said that one was hit pretty hard. Anytime you're hitting the ball on the train tracks, you got most of it.
Usher drops one foul. I mean, it's 23 home runs now for Rushing. The Louisville record is 25. Chris Dominguez matched the program record that had stood for a while when Dominguez did it in 2009, and Rushing now 2 off of tying that. Mike at Dallas is 2-2.
You can get that this afternoon where the ball's going to fly here.
You said it, it's going to be jumping. Brett Minnick is there in right. Louisville strikes first in the first.
Come on, big fella. Give the Cards faithful something to cheer about. Offense was a little sleepy last night, but boy, did they come out wide awake. It's going to be a good one, folks.
Boy, 4 strikeouts already from Louisville starting pitcher Riley Phillips, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out, is it a changeup or a breaking ball, because the changeup has this kind of movement.
Yeah, watch him get that 2-seam grip, the classic circle change 2-seam grip, and then over the top of that baseball. I mean, the hand comes right over top of that baseball. That's what creates the arm side down breaking action. And man, the bottom just drops out of it.
I mean, we talked with the Louisville coaching staff pregame today, and everyone you talked to was talking about that changeup. And you said it right off the top, especially against right-handed hitters from Texas A&M. It's going to be crucial.
No doubt about it. And again, they've just been razor sharp to start this one. That's got to give this Louisville team a boost, especially after they were on the field for a long, long time in last night's ball game.
Well, they start the bottom of the second with Cam Masterman. Pops this one up, first base side, drifting toward the seats, and it drops down foul. Minnick and Moss in pursuit, and merely a foul ball strike on Masterman.
That is a missed opportunity. Again, nobody's fault, just kind of in no man's land, right? But a chance to erase Masterman, who to me is one of the scariest hitters in America right now. A harmless pop-up that just unfortunately for the Aggies falls in no man's land, and now you still got to deal with number 24, who just, man, you better dial in your stuff when Masterman's in the batter's box right now, because he is hammering balls over the plate.
He drives the 1-1 to deep center, but Jordan Thompson with room, roaming to the track to make the catch. And did you say something about the ball carrying?
Man, it looks like, Mike, the flags have maybe softened a little bit. Like it's not quite the breeze that maybe it was to start the game. You see the flag on the left still moving a little bit. The Texas flag maybe not as much on the right, but I mean, he literally was at the wall there on the ball that Masterman just barely missed.
One away for Isaac Humphrey. It's a first pitch strike from Micah Dallas. Nothing at 2 from Dallas. Humphrey yesterday 1 for 3, worked a walk in the second, infield single in the 6th, and then tried to drop down the sac bunt in the 8th inning. Pull side single here with 1 out in the second, hard hit by Isaac Humphrey. Hey, NCAA Super Regional coverage for all 8 sites continues today and tomorrow here on the ESPN family of networks. For more info, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. At atmosphere, 1 to 10. What would you grade it last night? And that was
9.5.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was maybe because of the length of the game, the energy didn't persist, but there were times definitely last night where it was a 10, no doubt about it. The place was rocking.
1 out, 1 on for Logan Beard. Good out of the 8 spot.
Good hit and run spot right here. You got a strike thrower on the mound. You got one of the best backside ground ball guys you could possibly have. You got a really good runner in Humphrey. This is a perfect time to go hit and run here. 1-0 count, 1 out. See if the Cards dial it up. Aggies are thinking the same thing, and Humphrey was leaning just a little bit.
There was some surprise from you last night that Louisville didn't capitalize on some action opportunities offensively.
Yeah, and I would expect today to see maybe a little bit more offense as opposed. There it is.
Humphrey takes off the pitch. Not swung at, and Troy Klotch throws out Isaac Humphrey. 2 away.
Just wonder, McDonald doesn't look upset. Now, he does a really good job of keeping his poker face, but you just wonder if Beard was supposed to pull the trigger right there, but a ball that kind of ran underneath his hands, and a heck of a throw by Klotch.
If a hit and run sign is on, you are swinging no matter what.
Yeah, you're throwing your bat at the ball if you have to, right?
2-0 now. Is bounced slowly left side, and Werner cuts it off, and the inning is over. Just like that from Micah Dallas in the bottom of the 2nd.
Nice job by the Aggie defense, right? Troy Klotch catch it, throw, just a dart to second base. The Aggie captain continues to play like an All-American.
First pitch, ball 1. Now he is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. We told it, walked twice, hit by a pitch, to get aboard 3 times though yesterday. One 1-0 pitch. Rock takes high, 2-0. You used the term professional hitter with Jack Mossel out yesterday. We had the coaching staff for the Aggies saying the same thing today to us about Dylan Rock.
And usually what happens with the guy that is in complete command of his approach is you put up an offer, the next day you usually lock it in. What a chance for him right here.
Takes a strike.
The youngster made a big pitch right there, right? So you get back in the count with a fastball away. And now you got to believe the changeup's in play. The Cardinals will gladly take an out for a run right here. For Phillips, I think you grab that changeup, you turn it over, and hope you get a ground ball right to Christian Knapczyk. See if you can't turn a 6-4-3 double play.
Two 1. Tried off speed and missed.
Went to the breaking ball, and that one was never close. With nobody out, the crowd rising to their feet. I mean, you'd love to throw a changeup right here, but there's nobody out. Like, you can't just keep nibbling, right? At some point, you got a challenge in the strike zone, but that's a risky proposition with Mr. Rock up to bat.
Bases loaded. 3-1. He walks Rock. Second walk of the inning. Kaler scores. The Aggies are on the board.
Boy, the Cardinal bench wanted that call. A fastball that really, I mean, it splits the plate. Now, you could argue that it was a touchdown. This fastball is, yeah, I guess that ball is just a little bit low, and you talk about a professional hitter. That's a professional take. Definitely not a pitch you want to swing at in a 3-1 count. And just when it looked like Riley Phillips was on cruise control, A run already in, bases loaded, and nobody out here in the top of the third.
So it prompts a visit from Louisville's longtime pitching coach, Roger Williams, in his 16th season with the Cardinals.
And while Roger Williams out the mound, Mikey, you can hear one out in the top of the ninth in Greenville. 8-7 Longhorns.
So they're trying to finish that thing off.
They're trying to even up that series. And man, you talk about feeling some heat for the Pirates. If they go to a game 3 in their own building after having a 5-run lead in the 7th, that will be a tough turnaround for them. Out number 2 for the Longhorns.
Wow. Well, here in College Station, 3rd inning, Texas A&M trims it to 1 for the cleanup man, Austin Bose. It's gone single walk, single walk. Still nobody out for Phillips after the visit from Roger Williams. Ball 1, good stop by Jack Payton.
And I'm just telling you, Austin Bose feels like he is beyond due. I mean, this is a green light special right here. A 1-0 count, the bases loaded. You got a pitcher who's certainly struggling to find it, and a veteran hitter up the bat that has as good a knack of finding the sweet spot as anybody. Be very careful here.
1-0. Up and away, 2-0. Jack Payton, the catcher, pointing at Riley Phillips, trying to settle him into this environment.
And it's amazing how quickly things can change, isn't it?
That is high. 3-0. Ryan Hawks, a righty who we expected to see at some point today get ready in a hurry. .30 pitch. There's a strike from Phillips.
Big pitch there from Phillips, but man, you got a big hill to climb right here. And this thing is caught on, like it is all over the place.
3-1. Lifted to left. Masterman goes back as Usher circles to make the catch. Werner tags, he scores, and we are tied at 2.
Well, I think both teams are probably okay with that result, right? If you're an Aggie fan, you've tied the game up, you get to shoot your bubbles. From a Louisville perspective, you needed to get it out, right? This was getting really, really shaky. And I'm just going to say, Levi Usher, with a very veteran, poised decision to throw that ball to second base. I think a lot of people in this environment would have tried to come up and throw that ball to third. Watch Usher just get behind this ball. He's lined up to third, and then he thinks better of it. Redirects the ball to second base. Keep the force out in order. And as bad as this inning has been to this point, because you keep the force out in order, you got a chance to get a double play ball and maybe run off the field.
All right, that's kind of take your medicine, right?
Yes.
If you're a center fielder. First out, they're at the corners now for Ryan Targach in the 5 spot for A&M. Struck out his first time on a breaking ball from Phillips, who begins with strike 1. Targach, a switch hitter. Coaching staff says he is better from the left side than from the right, but boy, the numbers excellent all season long for the sophomore, having a monster breakout year in his first campaign as a starter. Thought about it, 0-2.
Change up fastball to get ahead. It's amazing what 1 out can do, right? Riley Phillips was really on the ropes. He finally induces a lazy fly ball to center field, and then bam, 2 really good pitches to start this AB.
The 0-2. Foul back.
Update from Blacksburg. The Hokies are on the board. They even it up with the Sooners. Virginia Tech and Oklahoma will play a winner-take-all game 3 tomorrow.
A Virginia Tech program that has never been to Omaha. Phillips sets another 0-2. Fouled off first base side. Games, if you're a fan, just post up all day.
No doubt. The great days in the college baseball calendar.
Phillips has had the work here in this third. About to throw, as you saw, his 25th pitch of the inning. On another 0-2. Fouled off at the plate.
That was the one. That was the one that really, the sinker he got on top of, had some late depth, hoping to get a ground ball right there, but Targac actually doesn't get enough of it, right? Just fouls it off his foot and stays alive. It's been a grind for Targac here so far. 0 for 5 in this weekend to this point. And he's got a lot of big hits for the Aggies throughout this season.
Another 0-2. Outside. A guy who had a productive regional as well. 5 for 12. Drove in 3. In the sweep of this College Station regional last weekend. A&M beat Oral Roberts on Friday. Louisiana on Saturday. And then a wild game against TCU on Sunday when they scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning. They're at the corners here in the third. 1-2. Swung on and miss.
Man, when he throws that thing right, you can just see nobody's got a feel for the difference in the speed between the heater and the changeup. Now, he's thrown some ones that have gotten away from him, but look at him get over the top of that baseball, and Targac is swinging at a fastball the entire time. He has no clue that's a changeup until he's come up empty. That's how well Riley Phillips tunnels the two-seam fastball and the changeup, but there's about 8 miles an hour difference, right? So you're swinging for 88, but it's actually an 80-mile-an-hour pitch coming at you. Targac about a foot out in front.
So now 2 out, and here's Troy Klotch with runners aboard. Seems to be the case quite often for the veteran backstop who you said earlier is playing like an All-American. And Jim Schlossnagle said last night after the game, Troy Klotch normally saves his best ABs for the end of the game, and there is no one they want up more than him in that spot against Michael Persecki.
Well, it was just an incredible approach to go up there and look for a fastball off the outside corner, stay on it. Very Jeter-like in the way he ended that ball game last night. We had a chance to ask him after the game, right? He said, well, I was just looking for that fastball away. And it's a great reminder to hitters out there, like when your eyes are in a certain part of the plate, it's amazing some of the pitches you can cover. And that ball was, I don't know, a ball off the plate. I mean, it was not a strike, yet Klotch is looking for it out there. He commits to it, and man, he barreled that ball up, even though it was a really good pitcher's pitch by Persecki.
He told us he had seen Persecki earlier, and he had seen all the different pitches he had, and that he watched the Targac AB right before him. Targac got hit by a pitch on a breaking ball or changeup off speed, and so he knew that it was, to your point, even after a walk or a hit batter, a guy who's going to probably come back with a fastball needing a strike.
And that's the baseball IQ that makes a great leader, great catcher, eventually one day a great coach. So many great coaches happen to be catchers, right? Because there's just such an awareness level of what is the game trying to tell me? What's happening on the field? And you talk about being dialed into the previous at-bat to help you dictate what the approach is supposed to be for your AB, and that was executed to a T by Klotch.
Takes a strike.
Seeing the asking plate umpire Patrick Riley. Is that the corner? Right, you'll see hitters take balls that are a little bit off the plate. They just want to kind of establish with the umpire, like, you're not going to go any further out than that, are you? They just want to make sure that, you know, kind of he knows that they know that that pitch was off. Let's make sure it doesn't get any wider.
The 1-1. Fouled off 1-2 on Klotch. And they'll tell you, hey, what their limit is.
He'll say, yeah, that's it. That's the edge. Or actually, no, there's a little more there. At that point, you look back at him really crazy if you thought it was off, right?
You give him a look?
Yeah, really? More than that? Okay, you know. But that's where you also kind of know the type of personality you're dealing with as an umpire. Like, how easily do they answer that question? Do they get offended? Are they welcoming? And there's, you know, part of playing this game is having a feel for the umpires, no doubt about it. And then not only that, but adjusting to whatever zone he's shown that he'll call.
Well, Phillips trying to navigate some of that as well here in the third. He is 31 pitches into this third inning, in which Texas A&M has scored 2 to tie it and still threatening. Phillips 2-2. Line towards second and caught by Beard. Inning over. The Aggies tie it. They do leave 2 with Klotch at the dish. Clay, Greg, thank you guys very much. We welcome you to College Station, Texas. Game 2 of this Super Regional between Texas A&M, the number 5 national seed, and number 12 Louisville. A&M had a walk-off win yesterday in Game 1. Louisville here backs against the wall, struck for 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. The Aggies, though, just put up 2, trying to get through to Omaha in year 1 under Jim Schlossnagle and the job he has done with this Aggies team. And boy, did Micah Dallas, the Aggie starter, just get a huge strikeout of Dalton Rushing.
Yeah, a paint job off the outside edge to erase Rushing. And, you know, in an inning where the Aggies had just put up 2 to tie it up, we got the Cardinals' most dangerous hitter up with 2 on and 1 out. And boy, did Micah Dallas deliver there.
Chris Burke, Mike Monaco with you. Louisville batting here, bottom of the third, serving as the home team here in enemy territory at Olsen Field at Bluebell Park, which was jumping for 5 hours of baseball last night before A&M walked it off in the last of the 9th inning for a 5-4 victory. Good stop by Troy Klotch, last night's hero.
Yeah, and that one definitely could have led to a run. Looked like maybe Klotch's glove got a little higher than you had wanted to. Almost squeaked through the 5-hole, but tipped off the edge of his glove, and he has put on a blocking clinic here over the first game or so. Nothing has gotten past the senior backstop.
Jack Payton, the cleanup hitter for Louisville, flew to center his first time. With 2 outs and runners at the corners. Micah Dallas deals. Starting pitching has been an issue for Texas A&M this season, but Micah Dallas, a 4th-year junior, a native of the Dallas area who transferred in after beginning his career with 3 years at Texas Tech, and he has pitched on the Omaha stage before, trying to get the Aggies there this season. 2-2.
Boy, he's throwing some nice breaking balls this inning. I mean, that one, that's back-to-back that have just disappeared down and away to Jack Payton, and that is exactly where he's trying to command that pitch.
Crowd trying to will Dallas off the field. 2-2. Another breaking ball, and that is blocked by Klotch.
The freedom and security that you feel as a pitcher to just be able to spike that breaking ball because you know your catcher's going to keep it in front. Hard to put a price tag on that.
Louisville got back-to-back 1-out singles. Second time through the order here against Dallas. Payoff pitch, up and in, ball 4, and the Cards have them loaded. We told you Louisville went to work right away. Backs against the wall, bottom of the first. What does TrackMan say about this?
He melted, smushed, smashed. Fill in the blank, right? But that ball was not seen wherever it landed. We didn't get eyeballs on it. Pretty loud start to the ball game, but since the Aggies have crawled back in it, Nate Yeske wants to chat with his right-hander as we're kind of back in familiar territory from last night, right? These huge high-leverage situations with two very scary offensive clubs.
It was a wild night. It was a 9-run game. I mean, 5 runs for the winners, 4 for the losers, 9 innings, and nearly 5 full hours. We had all sorts of runners left on base. You see 17 for Texas A&M, who left the bases loaded 4 different times, got them loaded a 5th time in the 9th inning, and then won it.
And there were 8 at-bats with the bases loaded in last night's ball game. The teams combined to leave 26 runners on base. And, you know, two teams that are used to scoring around double digits every time they take the field, they certainly had their opportunities. They were both light on that big hit. And we've already seen early in this game, Claunch, of course, just hit a rocket that unfortunately for the Aggies was right at Logan Beard. And now Levi Usher, who had the game-tying hit in the regional final against Michigan, gets an opportunity here in an elimination game for the Cardinals to put them up by a couple with a big swing of the bat.
Yeah, Usher, a super talented senior center fielder in the 5 spot from Fairfax, Iowa, just outside of Cedar Rapids, who had that huge day on Monday. He had 4 hits. He drove in 4, and as you said, tied the game in the 8th inning before Louisville then got a go-ahead home run to advance to this round, the Super Regionals. Usher squares, drops it down. Clutch picks it up and tags out Napchik. Inning over, and Micah Dallas fired up.
Boy, and that just backfired on Usher, right? You know, if you feel like they're giving it to you and you can get it up the third base line in such a way that the third baseman has to field it, then I get it. But, man, when you catch it off the end of the bat, just allows Claunch an easy catch and tag. And Micah Dallas all fired up about that one.
We've got bubbles. We've got voodoo from the prof, Dr. Chris Lee, sizing it up on the turntable. It is all happening in College Station.
We don't really know what that is. You've kind of just labeled it that, but it could be.
We got people on Twitter saying voodoo man, but I think that's a new term.
Okay.
We'll take suggestions, though. We're open to it.
Yeah, I mean, he feels like he's slowed down here a little bit, pacing himself.
Scoreboard now does read 100 degrees on the nose. So
nice and toasty out there.
Understandable. Yeah. Good lather going. Home half of the 5th. Micah Dallas, quick working. And he has settled into this game. He has set down 4 in a row since Levi Usher bunted with the bases loaded.
I got 2. 2 engines here as the train passes. I'm going with 2. See what we get. And then notice all the fans will have a number up, right? They're all picking how many engines are coming.
I see some 2s, some 4s.
Some 3s. Let's see what we get here. 1, 2, 3. 3. No, wait, 4.
A 4-piece.
4-piece. If you had 4, you're the winner.
Bianco grounds out to Trevor Werner for the first out. It's a long list of traditions here. Texas A&M, the Olsen Magic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it.
They listed it at a little over 6,700 here last night. This is slap past Werner into left field by Christian Napchik, who is rolling. He is locked in after an 0 for last night. 3 hits already for the leadoff man.
Isn't it so cool to watch a guy like this hit? I mean, we talked about the soft toss and lefties, kind of out of style, right? How about the slap hitting leadoff guy? You know what I mean? I mean, look at this. Watch how deep he lets this ball get. Sinker that's running away. He hits this ball like off his back knee. And Werner's got to play in, right? Because he's got to take care of the bunt, and that's just a rocket right over his head. Knapczyk with 3 bullets here in this ball game.
Hey, we welcome those fans who are watching us right now on Squeeze Play. Thanks for stopping by. It's been a fun super here at College Station. Louisville with a man aboard for Ben Metzinger. And 3rd time through the lineup, Chris Burke, against A&M starter Micah Dallas.
3rd time through, and we've seen Ben Metzinger last at bat, sat on a breaking ball. 3rd time through is usually one of those very shaky parts of the ball game for a starting pitcher.
Whether it was Nathan Detmer, the starter for the Aggies last night, or Micah Dallas today, or relievers last night, why so many breaking balls to Metzinger?
Well, obviously that's the book. We don't have his stats as far as batting average against, but again, it's an old mature hitter who's got a lightning fast bat, and so they know the heater doesn't really play. There you go. How about a changeup, right? So first pitch slider, second pitch changeup. And that doesn't mean you can't get outs with the fastball, but they want to establish the off-speed stuff early just to try to slow him down a little bit and get him off the fastball, because this is a young man, when he's hunting a heater, he can barrel it up with anybody.
You saw Nathan Detmer on the right in that prior shot, starting pitcher in yesterday's game. That 5-4 A&M win to start out this super. By the way, the changeup for Dallas, he told us this week the past 2 or 3 outings, it's maybe been his best pitch. Ground ball to short, Kaler. The turn. Not in time. Metzinger stays out of 2.
Boy, that was a nice job there by the Aggie middle infield. Kaler, the backhand feed to second base is not an easy play. Kaler goes to his right. Watch, make sure you pay attention, finish that catch, and now you got to transfer and redirect the ball as all your energy is falling towards the left field line. And Targuch with a lightning quick turn. Metzinger just too fast, which is huge in this situation, because now you got rushing up with 2 outs and a runner on.
Last time he came up, there were 2 aboard. His first time he homered. Takes ball 1 from Dallas here on a fastball. Low and away. 23 big flies now for Dalton Rushing. He is 2 off matching the Louisville record from a couple of guys, including Chris Dominguez in 09. Change up for a strike.
But it's a big time pitch. You talk to Micah Dallas, he will tell you the reason for his recent uptick in results is the changeup has really started to come around. Obviously, Rushing got him on it the first time around, but well, he's landed some nice changeups in this ball game.
1-1. Tried another. And by the way, speaking of Chris Dominguez, he's not just watching, he is saying, Dalton, look, man, you can have the record.
Go for it. Well, Chris Dominguez is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He's as nice as you, Mike, and that's saying something.
Did you send him a little cash to get a tag there?
No, he's just throwing some love. He's obviously listening.
Dallas sets his 1-2. Lined into center field, a base hit. Knapczyk first to third. And they are at the corners as Metzinger goes to third base. And Rushing is on.
This Louisville team just keeps going first and third, but Dalton Rushing, ooh, is he a scary customer right now. And here we go, another 2 outs and 2 runners on. Metzinger thought about putting on the brakes. Nah, off I go. Nice job there by Jordan Thompson throwing the ball into second base. And who's going to get that first big hit? 2 outs, runners in scoring position. We've been talking about it for a game and a half now.
To the cleanup spot to Jack Payton. All ACC third-team sophomore against Micah Dallas. Peyton has flown to center and then worked a full count and walked his last time in the 3rd inning. They call this guy an old soul. Dan McDonald says he is old school. He checks just about every box Louisville could want in a catcher and as a hitter. First pitch swings right through the off speed.
You know, catchers are traditionally known for their defense first, right? If you get something from them offensively, it's a bonus. How about Louisville? Their 2 catchers hit 3rd and 4th. Like Henry Davis, catcher last year, first pick in the draft. Like Louisville's catchers are cut from a little different cloth. Colby Fitch a couple years ago was a very productive hitting catcher.
And on the other side, A&M's catcher Troy Clonch has just been wearing out his gear behind the plate the last 2 days.
It's just unbelievable. He doesn't just block the baseball, he deadens it, and he puts it right in front of home plate. And the Aggie fans that are Astro fans will remember Brad Ausmus, a great Astros catcher for a long time. It reminds me of Ausmus, where it looks like it's almost like his chest protector's made of a pillow. The ball just dies in front of home plate.
He just tackles the baseball.
Soft tackles. Friendly.
It's like you at Dodger Stadium, just had it all the way, smother any baseball in sight.
Oh, goodness. By any means necessary when you get a ball lost in lights.
They're at the quarters, 2 outs, 1-1. Lined up the middle, past the dive of Targac into center. Metzinger scores, Peyton delivers, Louisville leads.
And there it is. The elusive 2-out RBI with runner in scoring position. And that'll be it for Micah Dallas, who did pitch them into the middle part of this ball game, right? 4 2/3 is certainly not a bad effort, but just a cement mixer here, hanging down Broadway. Peyton with a bullet right back up the box. And the Cards take a 3-2 lead.
Dallas gets a round of applause as he comes off the mound, but 3rd time through, 3 of the 4 batters with hits against the Texas A&M starter. He departs in the 5th. The Cardinals now lead with their backs against the wall. Will Johnston after this. I'm going Lightning.
Okay.
Been there before, back-to-back cups. Battle test.
All right. I'll go with your pick.
Easy convert. Micah Dallas, he is out, but he battled again, coming off 2 good ones his last 2 times.
Yeah, he did. You know, I think if you'd asked Jim Schlossnagle before the game today, Micah Dallas gives you 4 2/3 with 3 runs, I think he would have taken it. You know, solid job by Dallas. Maybe not his A+ stuff, but hung in there against a really talented lineup. And now the Aggies are going to flip the ball to the bullpen. Now, we did see Moo Menifee yesterday and Jacob Polish, and they were a big part of the reason the Aggies got a Game 1 win. But this is a bullpen that has developed throughout the course of the year. Will Johnston has done a nice job here, especially of late. I'm guessing we'll see Brad Rudis at some point, probably Chris Cortez. But it is a plethora of Aggie lefties that Jim Schlossnagle can run out of that bullpen.
And we saw their 2 best, perhaps, yesterday. Joseph Menifee, big strikeout stuff, and then Polish, to your point, those 2 guys. And now you roll out the 3rd-year sophomore left-hander from Roanoke, Texas, in Johnston, who really came on the 2nd half of this season, and he's been big for him. He's trying to keep this a 1-run game. Bottom of the 5th inning, Louisville just surged in front on the Jack Peyton RBI single. And now left on left for Levi Usher. Tried to drop down that bunt his last time in the 3rd with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch. Wow, fastball dotted. Welcome to the ball game.
Yeah, that is called being ready to enter the game right there. Run out of the bullpen, all that adrenaline, big stage, runner in score position, and just paint a heater right on the edge.
Johnson was so good to finish out SEC regular season play, and then in the conference tournament, he was nails against Alabama. 3 innings of shutout ball. He struck out 5. His 0-1. Usher fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
Boy, Usher was really, really late on that fastball. This is that cat and mouse game between a pitch caller and a hitter, right? Okay, I'm late, so does that mean maybe I need to speed up? And then the pitching coach is going, well, if he's late, I don't know if I want to throw a breaking ball, but if he makes the adjustment to speed up, then the breaking ball would be a perfect pitch, right? These are all the things running through your mind before you go with the selection. See if they go to that breaking ball away here.
On the ground, right side, and Targac throws out Usher. Quick work from Will Johnston, but Louisville leads after 5 here at College Station. Any level as exciting a weekend of baseball as you will find in this great sport on the road to the Men's College World Series. Super Regionals, left side of the bracket, best out of 3. What catches your eye, Chris Bird?
What catches my eye is that it looks like we're going to game 3 in those first 2. Well, in the bottom, right? So if Louisville wins this one, the whole side of that bracket could go to game 3. Tennessee right now up 12-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Of course, Texas already walked off ECU at ECU. So that one sets up for a thriller. And of course, Virginia Tech responded back with a huge home victory today. So a lot of drama on the left side of the bracket here.
Johnny Drama, I think.
Okay.
It's the building.
Let's go with that.
Riley Phillips back on the ball.
A show reference that I'm missing.
This is hammered. Left center field. Tie ball game. Ryan Targac, hello. With a point to Aggie Alley. You've been waiting on 3, 4, and 5 in Texas A&M's lineup.
And just like that, Louisville works their tail off to get one, and Targac hits a blast and erases it with one mighty swing of the bat. How about this? Targac had been 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts this weekend going into that AB. And a big bomb is how he announces his presence into this Super Regional. About a first pitch fastball. You know what happens to sinkers that don't sink, right? They get hit in the upper tank, and Ryan goes Targac to left center field. Mike Monaco. Sorry, had to do it. And he knew it the second it left its bat.
Man, just the second hit from A&M's 3, 4, and 5 hitters in this Super.
The old no doubter. And on a day where the wind is now starting to pick up out there to left center field, that had to be a welcome sign for Jim Schlossenagel, because, you know, the Aggies have not been producing offensively at the level which he's accustomed to seeing them. And so a long ball is always a nice way to flip the momentum, as it looks like we're going to get Ryan Hawks into the ball game.
In a 3-3 game in the 6th, Targac, his 15th, second on this Aggies team. The bubbles float. We're tied at 3.
Base, I mean, he has definitely cut the field in half and worked the backside today.
Two on, 2 out. Johnson's 1-0. On the ground towards short. Kaler was there. Thought about a flip. He throws in time.
Ooh, a little bit of a slip there from Kaler at shortstop, and Knapczyk almost beats that one. The bang-bang play goes the Aggies' way. They get off the field and post another 0. Aggies pitching staff continues to get the job done. Watch, Kaler almost trips right there, recovers, and just clips Knapczyk.
Pippas blares here at Bluebell Park. Yeah. Charged up. Down the stretch they come as we go to the 7th. Tied at 3. Chris Burt, Mike Monaco, our entire crew. It's game 2 of the College Station Super Regional. Texas A&M wins, they go to Omaha. Louisville needs to win to force what would be a winner-take-all game 3 tomorrow. A&M has been there 6 times as a program before, most recently in 2017. Cole Kaler pops up a bunt to Jack Payton, and Ryan Hawks is still cruising. There's one gone.
Cole Kaler's not ready to leave the box. That one will sting, right? You're trying to drop down a bunt, kind of steal a base to get the inning started, and you end up with a pop up to the catcher. Those ABs sting a little worse. Hawks with that fastball again kind of holds its plane, and you see right at the end, Kaler drops his barrel, cuts the bottom of it. He does not get another chance.
So now back to the top for Trevor Werner, who has walked each of his last 2 times. Scored a run in that 3rd inning when Texas A&M tied it. Hawks 1-0. And sinker drifts in for a strike 1-1.
You know, it's interesting, that 2-seamer, the way it acts. There's so much arm side run, but every once in a while it almost looks like it's working uphill.
That hits Werner. A backup breaking ball, it looked like, and a 1-out base runner for A&M in a tie game in the 7th.
Well, you know, you never want to give up a free pass, right? But especially when you do it in front of Jack Moss, it makes things a little less comfortable if you're in that Louisville dugout. But if you're in an Aggie dugout, you're pretty fired up here, right? Because even though just 1 for 3 for Moss today, one of the 2 outs was an absolute rocket right back off the glove of Riley Phillips.
Two-hole hitter faces Ryan Hawks, who misses in to start out Moss. Remember how many times Texas A&M had free passes issued to them by Louisville pitching last night. They worked 10 walks, at least 10 walks now 7 times this season, and they got hit by 3 pitches in the opener. Fouled off of Payton 1-1.
So, you know, we talk a lot about the arm slot in modern pitching analysis, and this is what's considered a low slot. You see, the ball's almost coming out of his hand below his head, right? It's almost coming out right by his shoulder height, and even though Ryan Hawks is a big old dude, it's a low slot release, and so when he gets behind the baseball, it almost feels like it's coming up towards the catcher. And so when he turns it over and gets kind of on the side of it, he'll get a bunch of arm side run. But when he gets behind it, he can almost create an upward vertical break look to the pitch. It's similar to the bunt we've seen and swing and miss we've seen from Minnick. He'll get some swings where the barrel's below the ball.
It feels like as a hitter it's rising.
Yes.
Check on Werner. And so the ability to do both, I would imagine, makes you pretty vicious if you can have that run to the arm side and then also ride. What would you call it?
Yeah, ride, finish, carry. You know, there's a lot of terms that is used in the modern game. The question is, can you do that, make that pitch
intentionally?
Yeah, intentionally when you're trying to execute that specific one.
Hawks 1-2. Line foul. And this guy in Moss is quite simply a tough out. Pro hitter, as we've said all weekend.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, short of maybe getting a call on a fastball 3-4 inches off the plate, it just doesn't feel like away is the place to go to try to finish Moss. It feel like you got to speed him up, try to crowd him, or maybe throw that breaking ball down to the back foot.
He lines it toward the gap in right center field. Werner bolts for third. Moss stings another. A&M's got him at the corners.
Well, we talked about where you maybe could get Jack Moss out. Let me tell you where I'm certain that you won't get Jack Moss out. It is middle. And there are some hitters that will allow you to get away with mistakes, but when you catch a guy like Jack Moss red hot, you're probably grateful that all you get is a single here. I mean, that is a fastball right down Broadway and a bullet in the right center field gap. And now Dylan Rock with another opportunity, right? Mikey, another opportunity for a big at-bat.
Hitless in 2 games in this Super, though he has worked a handful of free passes. The 3-hole hitter. OPS better than 1100. Strike 1. Rock had the huge swing in the regional final on Sunday for A&M against TCU. In the 7th inning, blasted a 3-run shot on an 0-1. Stopped by Peyton reaching across his body.
Currently, there's nobody up actively throwing the ball in the middle of the bullpen. So this is Ryan Hawks' inning. And as good as that 2-seam fastball can be, you know, he's always 1 pitch away here with 1 out.
Hawks 1-1. Misses again with the slider. 2 balls and a strike on Dylan Rock.
So this is one of those moments as a hitter, you got 2 breaking balls that weren't really close, right? Okay, you got a pitcher on the mound who you know likes his fastball. This is where you really want to try to pick a part of the plate and just own it, right? I'm either looking in because the guy's got arm side run and I'm just going to hammer it, turn on it, or I'm going to give him in, try to get my eyes out over the plate and use the middle of the field. But whatever it is, be convicted.
Maybe caught in between there.
Yeah, that's a fastball up out over the plate, so maybe he's looking in because that one definitely froze him. A fastball that kind of started off the outside edge and worked its way back. Big pitch right there by Hawks to get back even in this count.
They're at the corners with 1 out, tied in the 7th. Time called. Texas A&M as a team offensively, they talk about their breathing and stepping out of the box and calming themselves in these moments. Two-two pitch. Popped up and that fades foul out of play.
So that's twice now that Hawks has gone to the fastball off the edge and tried to run it back to the corner. Again, to me, if you're Rock, it doesn't look like Hawks wants to throw the breaking ball as a put-away pitch. He really hasn't thrown any great ones. It feels like a time where you're just committed to looking for the ball away. If you get a breaking ball, do your best, but really looking to control the outside half of the plate here.
Another 2-2. High and it's full.
And that ball just a touch up, and that's twice now that Hawks has gone to the top of the zone. Rock does not look like he's even thinking about swinging at that fastball up.
Payoff pitch. Rock in the air to shallow center. Usher with a strong arm. Werner tags. Usher's throw does not get him. The Aggies lead.
And the HBP comes back to bite Ryan Hawks. Trevor Warner got this rally started with a hit by pitch. And Dylan Rock pays it off with the sac fly to center field. The Aggies sneak back ahead. Boy, Levi Usher did everything you would teach an outfielder to do. Got tremendous momentum, great direction, but the ball just sails up the third base side, and the Aggies pull ahead by 1.
And now Austin Bose. 2 outs, 4-3 of the margin. Jack Moss at first. We had A&M coaches saying to us today how impressed they were with the arm from Levi Usher, who didn't even really have a chance to fully show it off yesterday, and tried to line that one up in center.
Well, that was your chance. That's what you dream about as a center field. Of course, the margin was very small there with the speedy Werner getting down the line, but unfortunately for him, that ball just sailed on him.
That is some double barrel action, including Garrett Schmeltz, the lefty, 35 in the white, who you would think if this goes to game 3, most likely to be the starting pitcher, but all hands on deck in an elimination game for the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, they're going to use Schmeltz wherever they feel like they have to, right? There is no tomorrow.
Bose had a sac fly himself back in the 3rd. Cuts through the fastball.
Man, Austin Bose has just been fractionally off this weekend. Barrel just a little bit below the fastball on a regular basis. Has kept him from squaring the ball up as much as we're used to seeing him do it.
Outside part of the plate, 2-2.
Boy, Jack Payton did a really nice job there receiving that baseball. That ball looked like it was a few inches off the plate. Payton just vacuum cleaners it right back to the outside corner.
Replete with sound effects. Boy, a hot one back there for any catcher. Temps still at 100 at 4:36 local time. Baking behind the plate. Another throw over to check on Moss, who self-described not the most fleet of foot.
Probably not going to win a stolen base title in his time here at Texas A&M. It's okay. Just hit 400. Nobody's too worried about that.
No problem. "37th pitch of the outing from Ryan Hawks is a 2-2. Laced foul.
The breaking ball has just not been great. You know, it kind of rolling in there. It looks like every time he's tried to throw a good one, it's gotten away from him. He's got to mix it in, right? Just enough to keep him honest on the fastball. But I got to believe after a real healthy hack right there on a 2-2 breaking ball, Hawks is going back to the fastball here.
Here it is. Fastball yanked foul, riding in on his hands.
That was the one. That's probably the fastball we've seen this inning that's had the most arm side run, right? We've seen a few up in the zone.
How about the Aggies?
Yeah.
The last 2 weekends scoring late. Jim Schlossnagle again. He said it last night about how resilient this team is. Nothing surprises him with the way they take some punches, but they never fold. It's a team that got off to a slow start this season. They felt like their season flipped. Opening weekend of SEC play at LSU, they took 2 out of 3. And that's when they came together. Ended up being the number 5 national seed. On the ground to short, and Napchik flips, inning over. But Texas A&M takes the lead. The hit batter proved costly for Louisville. Dylan Rock comes through. Aggies by 1.
Moving here on a 3-2 count with 2 outs. You get the outfielders really deep in a no doubles situation. This is one of those plays where you could potentially see a runner score on a single here.
Metzinger creeps off the bag. Cut on and missed.
Hit the barrel as he's checking his swing, or did it hit the knob? Yeah, it hit the barrel right before the mitt of Claunch. And Masterman had already thought he had taken ball 4, but the bat just snapped just a touch at the end.
8th pitch. Masterman lines it in a right field base hit. Tying run aboard. And that is what you're talking about, letting the ball travel for Masterman.
What a big-time piece of hitting right there, no doubt. Louisville's going to go back to their pinch running routine here with Cam Masterman. But, man, that is just a professional piece of hitting. Talk about letting the baseball travel and committing to the changeup and being in a position where you can at least fight off the fastball. That was picture perfect right there by Cam Masterman.
Chris Sang in to run. Just like last night, it was Masterman single to lead off the 8th inning. Top of the 8th yesterday, bottom of the 8th this afternoon. You like it here?
I don't. No, I think Masterman's too good to take out the ball game, especially when you're down now.
Sang runs. Humphrey swings at the first pitch and flies it to left.
What I like better here than we got last night is that he took off to steal the first pitch. If you're going to put him in the game to steal, I'm in, right? But to me, if he's going to steal, right, then maybe this is hit and run. But see, that's a straight steal. He didn't peek back in until he heard contact. So if he's going to steal, you probably want Humphrey to take that one right there. But Humphrey pulls the trigger. And the stolen base that looked like it was going to be easily recorded by Sang goes for 9.
Brings up Logan Beard, 0 for 3 in the 8th spot. When there is a base stealer, how much control from the head coach is there of the at-bat in terms of first pitch take, or is you're putting your trust in your hitter? If you want to swing, you do it even if we have a steal on?
Well, certainly he has the ability to put the take on, but it's obvious that he's allowed his hitters the green light to swing if they like what they see.
Bounced in, blocked by Clark.
Man, Singh had a great jump there, and you know what? Obviously, as somebody that stole bases and got frustrated with my buddies when they would either pop up or foul it off, you're like, hey man, if I know it might have been a decent pitch, but if you just let me get to second, now you have the whole rest of the bat with me in scoring position, right? And which changes everything. But you know, some guys just have a hard time letting one go that they think they got a good swing, or they got a good chance to make a good swing at.
Sang takes off, the pitch high, clutches, throw, got him!
Wow. Troy Claunch has put on a show this weekend behind the plate. Just a total show throwing the baseball. And, you know, Chris Singh did not stay at second base. You'd think if he thought he was safe, he would have. Base stealers tend to always think they're safe. The fact that he ran off the field surprises me a little bit. And what a catch and throw for Troy Claunch.
Singh had been 5 for 6 stealing bags. His This will go to review. At this point in the game, it does not need to be challenged by the head coach. Crew chief can go to it of his own accord. And what a moment in this ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning.
It looks like that tag grazes the forearm before he gets the hand to the base. Nice job by Targac of snapping that tag down. I think that call will be confirmed.
And you said it. How about Troy Klotch? He's done it offensively and defensively as well.
He's thrown out Isaac Humphrey on a ball in the dirt. He's thrown out Isaac Humphrey on a steal attempt. He's now thrown out Chris Singh on a steal attempt. And you're talking about two of the fastest runners in Louisville's program. And he's now thrown them out 3 times on the bases this weekend.
Boy, how about the last, 7 days for Louisville and some of these close plays at the second base bag. Out at second. Four outs left for Louisville to play with. (2-0) to Beard. There's a fastball for a strike. Fastball for a strike.
Boy, the poise of this freshman Rudis to just stand on that bump in a moment like this and make pitch after pitch. And boy, the home crowd starting to smell it here, Mike.
Rudis is 2-2.
See that swing right there by Beard tells you all you need to know about what they're thinking. The message has made its way through the dugout. The changeup is real, and you almost have to sit on it, or you're going to be out in front.
Two again. Check swing, and Beard did not go. It's a full count.
Is that the first breaking ball we've seen? Rudis? I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch. Beard ground ball into center field, a base hit. Tying run on again for Louisville with 2 down now in the 8th.
That kid can just flat in. You talk about a young man that has a real feel, just a veteran feel for the art of hitting. Fighting off fastballs out of the catcher's mitt, laying off a breaking ball, finally gets something out over the plate, using the middle of the field. I love that comp to Mayhew. It's pretty weighty company, but still, it's a young man that has really shown that he can hit at a very high level early in his career.
And now Ben Bianco, 5th-year senior first baseman, out of the 9 spot, who struggled last weekend at the regional, 1 for 18, then had been 0 for 5 coming into the 6th inning when he singled to the pull side last time. 3
was the call.
Bianco swings through the change.
It was actually 4 again. Got us twice with that. You know, the more I watch Troy Klotch catch, the more I'm like, what is he doing in college baseball? I mean, seriously, like this dude should be catching in AA right now. I mean, you talk about as polished of a backstop as there is in college baseball.
Line to second and caught by Targac. Well, Klotch helped him out in this bottom of the 8th inning. And how about the freshman Brad Rudis getting A&M off the field?
He gets him off the field, but boy, Troy Klotch got him out of the jam. A breaking ball up in the zone, a dart to second base. The captain's fired up. changeup or a slider, something off speed down in the zone. Now watch him switch his approach back, right? So that same pitch he just swung and missed at, something tells me if Webster throws it again, he would take.
Pulls it to right. Humphrey retreats and makes the catch. Webster pounds his glove, keeps it a 1-run deficit, and Brad Rudis, the freshman, will face 1, 2, and 3. A&M trying to get to Omaha. And soak in this atmosphere. College baseball on full display this weekend, including here in College Station, where they have watched their Aggies win in walk-off fashion last night and now lead by a run to the bottom of the 9th inning. A&M in this game 2 of this Super Regional, serving as the road team. They lead. They're trying to get to the Men's College World Series for a 7th time. Louisville, on the other hand, down by 1, but they've got the big bats coming, Chris Burke.
Yes, they do. What better place to be in the bottom of the 9th down by a run than 1, 2, 3 in your batting order, right? And what has the theme been for this Louisville team? Finish, right? Finish. We've already played you the clip from Coach Dan McDonald. We talked about how they finished last weekend against Michigan, coming back to win that decisive Game 7. Now, can they do it here to keep their season alive?
You saw what that top 3 has done. And because of that, because of guys like that, they have finished a lot. It's the word written on Dan McDonald's clipboard, right at the bottom of it. Christian Knapczyk in the leadoff spot, a double and 2 singles. Facing Rudis. Misses with his first 2. Dan McDonald, every single practice in the fall and in the spring, before this season got underway, would pull his team aside and talk about the stats from last year, the lack of comeback wins. They have flipped that script this year, and it's 3 balls and no strikes on Knapczyk, representing the tying run. Rudis is known as a strike thrower. His 3-0 is a strike. He's got 3 saves this season, but no stage built quite like this. Knapczyk on a line into center. Tying run aboard and winning run to the plate for the Cardinals.
And it has just been a rocket fest this afternoon for Christian Knapczyk. 4 for 5, and not a soft one in the bunch. 4 absolute rockets. And let's see how Dan McDonald plays this. To me, you're trying to win the game right here, right? I don't even know if you want to mess around. I know you're the home team, and sometimes guys play for the ties, the home team, but you got 1, 2, 3 lead off it. I say you let the big boys swing it. Something tells me Ben Metzinger's going to let it rip.
Metzinger, all conference. The senior who is from Louisville. 5 hits in 2 games, and he takes ball 1.
Don't forget, Louisville is the home team here in College Station. So 1 swing of the bat at this point, and Louisville could be dogpiling here at home plate. The odd scenes that happen here in Super Regional play when teams can celebrate on somebody else's field.
It happened in Greenville, North Carolina, with the Texas Longhorns just, maybe a little more than an hour ago in a Game 2 as well. 2-0 on Metzinger against the rookie Rudis.
Be careful here. Ben Metzinger, 2 walk-off home runs this season for the Cards.
There's a strike.
Brian Metzinger, he's not happy about that call, but that's a great take and a great pitch. Rudis delivering a ball at the bottom of the zone right when he needed to.
Pitching in 100-degree heat. His 2-1. That's a strike. 2-2.
1 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Metzinger super dialed in on where he's looking for the baseball. Now a 2-2. Does he go back to that changeup that we've seen him lean on to this point in his outing?
Two all the way. In the air, right field, fading toward the seats, and Minnick cannot get there. Still 2-2.
Went to the breaking ball right there. Metzinger, maybe not his best swing at that, but a nice job of just fighting it off.
We've talked about it. Rudis has had the confidence to go right on right changeup against the best hitters in the country this year. 2-2. Metzinger spoils it.
Now that the first breaking ball, he did not look comfortable. That one right there looked like he recognized early and was just below it. I think the longer this at bat goes on, the more the advantage switches in the favor of Metzinger. A hitter that just has a flair for the moment.
One of the captains of this Louisville team. Tying run aboard. You mentioned the walk-offs already this year from Ben Metzinger. Early on, non-conference action against Morehead State. He went deep with a 3-run blast. Then a month later, a walk-off to beat North Carolina. Two again. Outside, and it's a full count.
Boy, and the home crowd, boy, can they smell it. 3 outs away from going to the College World Series. Metzinger, just a veteran take right there on a fastball that was certainly off the edge. And man, the drama builds here as we go full.
Payoff pitch, runner goes, and Metzinger stays alive.
Boy, Rudis has done a good job in this AB. He's literally hit every edge around the zone, but nothing really in the middle. That one, another fastball just kind of above the hitting zone. Metzinger a touch below it. These are some pretty healthy hacks 22 has taken in this AB.
Longest AB of the game. The 9th pitch. Metzinger spoils another coming at his chest.
There was the first changeup that we've seen in this AB. We've seen a few breaking balls, a bunch of fastballs, but there Rudis went to the changeup. And again, it just feels like the longer this at bat goes on, the more the advantage goes to Metzinger as he kind of shakes off a foul ball off his shin.
Jim Schlossnagle, the head coach, is going to make a move to the bullpen.
I think Slosh has the same feeling I do right now. 3-2 count, and he's going to make a move. Wow.
Already 9 pitches into the plate appearance. Rudis departs, and they will summon the 5th-year senior lefty, Jacob Polish, who pitched yesterday across 2 scoreless innings and threw 30 pitches.
Well, I think if you're Jim Schlossnagle, you're saying to yourself, Rudis isn't facing rushing anyway. So if I'm going to bring
rushing a lefty.
That's right, rushing a left-hander. If I'm going to bring Polish in on the next pitch, and I'm sitting here watching Ben Metzinger take all these healthy, what look to be just missing walk-off home run swings, like, if we're going to go down, we're going to go down with our best guy with the ball in his hand. And that appeared to me to be what's running through the mind of Jim Schlossnagle. Was just no disrespect to the freshman Rudis, who's been fantastic, but they just weren't going down right there with Rudis on the bump. And you talk about really getting into the mind of a hitter. Not only is it a pitching change, but obviously you go from a right-handed at-bat to a left-handed at-bat. And just all the things that are going through your mind about, you know, it's a full count. Is he going to start me with a fastball? Like, is he going right to his put-away pitch? Dan McDonald already discussed with Ben Metzinger the report, but man, this is good stuff right here, bro.
A reminder of where we're at on the road to the Men's College World Series. We have not punched the ticket yet. This is day 2. We got started with these 4 best-of-3 supers yesterday. 3 of them already have a game 3 coming tomorrow. Will Louisville join them, or will Texas A&M punch a ticket right now to Omaha, Nebraska?
Man, it's right in front of you, right? And these last 3 outs are always the hardest. I mean, again, like you said, everybody wants a ho-hummer and just ease into Omaha. It just doesn't go like that very often. And certainly not gone that way. But you look at the numbers from Jacob Polish. It's been an outstanding season. Just 9 walks on the season and an ERA south of 3. But man, of all the appearances that he's come in and got the job done for the Aggies this year, nothing compares to the moment he finds himself in right now.
These two faced each other in the 9th inning last night. Ben Metzinger in the same 2 spot, led off the 9th inning, reached on an infield single against Jacob Polish, who we said he faced 8 batters. He threw 30 pitches. Jim Schlossnagle said post-game he's been super consistent all year, and yes, we invested a lot with him and fellow lefty reliever Joseph Menifee to win game 1, but he said, hey, Polish could be available again today, and they roll him back out there here in game 2.
In a 3-2 count.
On what will be the 10th pitch of the plate appearance. Nobody out, Knapczyk still at first, Louisville down 1. The pitch, swung on and missed. Klotch hung on to it. Polish gets the first out.
Boy, Metzinger, who had really been doing a nice job of fighting off some pitches for Brutus, just for whatever reason in his mind, this is a fastball approach, right? A really good slider there from Polish, but you can tell Metzinger is a foot out in front of that one. And he really felt like Polish was going to challenge him there with a heater. What a move by Jim Schlossnagle.
1 away, Dalton rushing in the 3 spot. Hit his 23rd in the 1st today. And he takes strike 1. All ACC second-team choice and a big-time draft prospect against Polish. Long hold 0-1. That's high to rushing.
Fastball up and in, fastball up and away. The breaking ball from Polish has been the difference maker pitch this year. Something tells me that's what Rushing's going to get here on an even count.
Polish got a rushing to pop the 3rd last night. Rushing in the air, left center field, back to the wall. Thompson is there. 2 down. Wow.
Man, it's a cruel game. It literally, we talk about a game of inches, this one might have been a game of feet, but that ball's, I don't know, 395 feet, gonna hit in the middle of the wall. And Jordan Thompson, who's playing deep, gets over there, and it was just a matter of whether he's gonna stay in the yard or not. Just a long out at this point.
Louisville down to potentially its last out of the season. A&M 1 out away from Omaha. And strike 1 to Jack Payton. Payton has walked. He's had an RBI single as well back in the 5th inning. That is the last Louisville run in this game. Polish is 0-1. Cut on and miss. 0-2. Gets past Klonch, and Knapczyk moves up to second. Klonch searches for it, finds it. Tying run in scoring position.
Well, it just got interesting. At this point, Polish has not thrown Peyton a strike, right? It's been 3 off-speed pitches, all below the zone. And this is one of those moments, is pressure-packed as it is. If you're Jack Payton, you gotta slow your heartbeat. Nate Yeskie wants to have a conversation with you. You gotta slow your heartbeat and get a good pitch, because there's a reason Nate Yeskie's going out right now, and it's because first base is open. Levi Usher has not swung the bat well, right? And you got Jack Payton, who's just chased the 2 pitches below the hitting zone. So I think the message here is going to be clear. Do not throw another strike, and we'll deal with Usher on deck, right?
Fine line, right? Because Peyton represents obviously the winning run with Louisville as the home team here. I mean, this is wild.
This is. Yeah, it just, I mean, the guts of Jim Schlossnagle. You don't get to Omaha 5 times without a great feel for the game. And he saw exactly what we saw, Mike, which is Ben Metzinger is locked in here on Brad Rudis. And we're not going down like that. And he hands the ball to his best guy, and he has been lights out to this point. Granted, Dalton Rushing ran one out there about 390 feet, but now just 1 pitch away from the trip to Omaha.
2 outs, 2 strikes, men at second. 1-2. Cut on and missed. The Aggies are headed to Omaha.
Pretty special stuff there, Mikey. What a performance by the A&M bullpen. Just absolutely lights out. And Jacob Polish came in and just slammed the door shut right through the heart of the Cardinal lineup. And enjoy it, boys, because it's one of the most unexpected stories you will see in college baseball in the gauntlet of the SEC West, to go from 9 wins and not in the conference tournament to Omaha in 1 year is one heck of a run by Schloss and the boys.
The ticket punched. The Aggies will be in Omaha for the 7th time in program history, and as proud as this program is, undoubtedly, as you said, improbable in year 1 with that man at the helm. They missed out on not just the NCAA tournament last year, the SEC tournament as well, and it was a slow start out of the gates for this Texas A&M club this year.
Well, the only thing they messed up was the dog pile. Nobody wanted to go down, so the Aggies didn't get the College World Series dog pile, but maybe they got bigger plans here in Aggie land. What a story it has been. In a weekend where their stars in the middle, Jack Moss was incredible, right? But targets with the big blow that ends up being the game winner. But in a weekend where the stars weren't dynamic, it was an incredible, Werner ends up being the game winner on the sac fly by Dylan Rock, but the bullpen is what ends up being the story, right?
It's our Capital One rewarding performance. They've been yearning for quality starts, and when you don't get them, you need these guys.
Boy, do you. Will Johnston was fantastic. He came in and was razor sharp. Then how about the freshman? Brad Rudis just came in spinning that changeup, and then in a unconventional way, Jim Schlossnagle goes to Jacob Polish in a 3-2 count. He comes in, punches out Metzinger, gets Rushing to fly out, strikes out Peyton, and the Aggies of Texas A&M are our first entry to the College World Series. Congratulations.
And hats off to Louisville as well on a season that was filled with a lot of thrills. But Texas A&M advances. Omaha begins on Friday, 2-0 here in the Supers to emerge. For Chris Burke, our producer Jacob Garza, our director Johnny Hanna, and our entire crew, Mike Monaco saying so long. Coming up next, PLL, Atlas and Cannons, and East Schropp, Brian Boyle and company. We say so long from College Station.